Hi, everybody. I'm Meredith Baker for On the Map, Off the Radar. And live from Aruba, we have Olivia Rothschild and Rachel Braden, the co-founders of 109world, which is a community that has been able to use social media for social change by hosting trips with different purposes in different countries around the world. And they're going to talk to us a little bit about how they started 109world, because I know it's a fairly new organization founded last year, and how they've managed to make so much progress already in the online community with this amazing new space for social change. So thank you both so much for being here. I know you both have a lot on your plates. And I wanted to start off by asking, what was the initial catalyst for forming 109world, and how did you take this from an idea to making concrete steps into forming it into an organization and getting it off the ground?
109 is something, I mean, it's been a lot of really hard work, and I feel like it was over a year ago that we had our first real business meeting as 109. So it's not easy starting a nonprofit, that we can say. And I think the actual, catalyst, I with the Yoga Girl platforms and the channels that I have with over 2 million followers throughout social media, I really wanted to make a change and actually use that influence for something really good. And getting together with Olivia to form 109 is a huge part of that.
Yeah, I think that, well, we've known each other for a long time, but I've seen Rachel grow and her platform grow and her the group of people she's inspiring every day grow, and that inspired me as well. I'm come from the social entrepreneurship field. I've been studying that, and I was working in Stockholm at the time, and we just started talking about how we can use this impact to do good. And so that's where we started just talking very casually about doing something, and then I ended up quitting my job, which made it much more real. So I think that was the really catalyst to making it a real thing,
making it tangible and valuable. Yeah.
And as you're starting 109world, what were the biggest challenges in really getting it off the ground and wanting to create this kind of space, but translating it into action? And how did you kind of navigate these challenges?
I mean, we've had a few. There's a lot. So legally, I mean, I think a lot of people have the idea, I want to help, I want to support, I want to do something good for the world, I want to start a nonprofit, let's just do it. Legally, that's not how it works at all.
There's a lot of administrative work.
Huge amount of administrative work. It's really expensive, actually, which was something that we hadn't anticipated, especially if you want to form a 501c3 in the US, which is what we're doing. So there's been a lot of kind of trial and error and navigating through this field, and a lot of learning, which has been really valuable.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that made 109 possible is that we have this huge influence already, and the social media attention, but that also is a huge challenge because we need to really adapt to the people who are already there and make it specific, but not too specific, not too broad, and really raising awareness about topics that speak to different people.
Right.
That's also been one of the challenges, I think.
And also I've read one of the biggest ones for me, I think, has been the language of it all. Actually having to, because we're very transparent about what we're doing, and I was surprised at the beginning at how many people were a little bit negative in the beginning. So, oh, you want to do good things? Wait, why aren't you supporting this project over here? It's much better. Why aren't you doing this versus that? The moment you get into philanthropy, there's a whole bunch of people that are really vocal about how you should do what you do, which is a little bit new for me in the social media world. So it's been a lot of listening to the community and kind of staying really authentic to what we want to create and learning and moving forward from that.
Well, that's perfect, because it leads me to the next question, which is, how do you find the projects that 109world works with, and how do you work on making these projects sustainable after the trips to these places?
Well, so now from the beginning, since we're very much of a startup still, the process of choosing projects that's been a lot of research, basically. What we did was we chose these 7 passions that we have, and we coupled them with destinations. And from there, we went on and did a lot of research. And it's really important for us that it meets certain criteria, because we need to be able to bring a group of 40 people there. The logistics need to work. It needs to be safe. We need to trust the people behind the project, and we need to know that whatever money we are talking about will go to make an actual impact. So there's a lot of research basically at the moment, and now that we're growing and making ourselves known, we also have a lot of projects reaching out to us. So that's also great. We're growing a network of people.
And we also chose, I think, the first projects we based around either countries or projects or people that we were already really aware of, where we had local connections and people that we could trust guide us in the right direction, so that we would never end up in a place where, worst case scenario would be raising a lot of money and then realizing that we didn't make the impact that we set out to make. And having trusted local people present in the area really made sure that that we were in the right place and talking to the right people.
Yeah, and to answer also the last part of the question, how we make sure it's still going on as we leave, is that we partner with local NGOs and already existing organizations, which makes it sure for us that their presence will still be there, although we are not.
Yeah, we don't have to reinvent the wheel every time we go into a new country or a new location to make a change. But there's a lot of really beautiful projects out there that we can support.
Right, and give visibility to, and that already in existence. And so what is your vision then for 109 World in the coming years with these trips? And how would you say it's a bit different than the work of other NGOs that are already out there?
We're very social media based, which I think is fairly different. So the most beautiful thing about that is we can actually ask our community, like, hey, how have you liked this campaign? Where would you like to travel? What kind of projects would you like to support? What is urgent? And we can actually tailor make our campaigns to fit this audience, which has been super, super valuable.
Yeah, being transparent thanks to social media is definitely one of our unique things. And I think visions for the future, we have many, but we are relying very much on Yoga Girl at the moment and your voice. I think that's one of the things we're looking to expand a little bit into the future. So we want to create a network of influencers that are willing to back 109 and make use of their influence as well. And we've been a little cautious now in the beginning with taking on too serious issues because we want to, test how it's all going and know that it's safe. And maybe in the future we'll be able to do more urgent projects.
Definitely. Yeah, the first ones have been these first 3 campaigns that we're doing now are fairly safe. We know where we're going. We know the locations. It's a little bit, we have our first trip coming up now in April. So it's the first time we're taking 50 people, to Nicaragua, into the jungle to literally provide an entire community with potable water for the first time. So there's going to be a lot of digging, a lot of hard work, hopefully mixed into a really beautiful experience and a really beautiful setting. But I think we've been smart to choose this location as a first trip versus going into a place that is in desperate need of or has a state of urgency, so to speak, because it will be a different scenario, but that's what we hope to accomplish in the future.
Right. So this one will be a great voluntation.
Exactly. Yes.
And could you explain some of the other projects along with the Nicaragua one that are on the horizon for people who are interested in various topics or have various passions?
Yes. So the next one we have coming up after Nicaragua is going to Latvia and Europe, and that's going to be around education. So we're going to go there with a group of people and hold workshops and do lots of fun activities with children there. But the funding, the aim is to be able to sponsor teenagers that can't afford education with a proper education for 4 years. So we make sure they get into the working they get employed and can start a good life for themselves after they're moved out from their institutions.
And we're also supporting a few orphanages there that we went to visit last year, hopefully to improve the living conditions for the kids.
Yeah,
as well. And that's a shorter trip. It's more of a long weekend, so we're doing a few different ones.
Mm-hmm.
And after Latvia, we have a few coming up. We have one in Colombia coming up. We're gonna eventually do one to support my own animal rescue organization here in Aruba for animal rescue. And
we have one in Rwanda coming up as well.
Africa,
about food security. We are looking at India. So yeah, we have lots of different things coming up, but we can't share everything just yet.
Well, that's amazing. It sounds like there's something for everybody who wants to get involved. Thank you guys so much for speaking with me. This was really, really interesting and very inspiring as well, because oftentimes when we get on social media, it feels like a very self-centered thing to do. And then you get off and you're like, what did I just do for the last hour scrolling through my feed? And this sounds like something that you've really turned into like social change through social media, which is really incredible. And hopefully the direction that social media moves in on a whole. And I'll be sure to include the links to 109 World below the video for everybody who'd like more information on how to get involved. Thank you guys so much.
Beautiful.
Thank you
so much, Meredith. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.